Hey folks, welcome to episode number 1 of the reboot of the reboot of the reboot. Anyhow, just so everybody knows, we're going serial. Yeah, not super serial though, but just serial. This episode we're going to cover the Mel Brooks movies, and let's face it, they're spectacular. I'm not sure we get it all 100% correct, but hey, it's an attempt, right? So, kick back and listen to this long intro, as we're going to also feature some independent artists from here on in within our intros. This is a Shutosh playing Game Over. You can listen to him over at SoundCloud. We're going to have the description in the YouTube video and for the podcast itself on iTunes and everywhere else these days. Kick back and enjoy, and we will see you on the flip side. Thank you. Thank you, Chinese spyware, for letting us know.
Oh, yeah. Me, listen real good.
Oh, well. So, good evening, little brother. It's been a while, hadn't it?
Yeah, been a bit of time since we went on the record.
Oh, yeah.
Style.
So it goes as such. Had a relationship, lost a relationship, found out, whoa, she a little crazy. But I'm not going to go on R raised by narcissist or any of that bullshit. Because airing out your therapy on Reddit is pathetic.
Pretty much. Then again, I'm the guy that it's like, yeah, I tend to keep large expanses of my personal life out of social media, whether drama or not. So
Yeah, I do too. What?
we are the observers and the commentators. We are not here to attraction. Add. We're not here to add to the milk.
No. And then on top of this, too, she's like, why don't you have any social media? Because I'm not an idiot. So, when I talked to you on Telegram.
I got the Twitter, but, that's more for letting people be aware of the products I put out in the world. And occasionally helping other creative people with their brainstorming.
Well, yeah. Oh, you don't mind, I'm eating while we're on the phone here because I just got done with the gym, I'll admit.
Dude, I legit will never understand how you can sit there and do a job that is not sitting at a desk all day and then go and work out at the gym.
It's habit.
Maybe it's that I was never that athletic, but it's
yeah.
I can already wake up with sore muscles. I don't need to pay to go to a special building to have that done to me.
At this point, it's trying to tone up stuff. Just it's my therapy. I'll admit that out front. Got a little anger in me, so you just got to get it out sometime. There
is that. But,
so topical shit for the month. We talked about our main topic that we're going to do for this month. Next month we got Halloween, which, by the way, we're going to archive the 2 seasons we had. We're just going to go episodic. That's the word, episodic.
It's good enough for now.
Yeah,
we can always synonym it later if we come up with something more technically accurate.
But yes, episodes.
But yes, as has happened to most of the world over the past year plus, we've had to change a few things. We've gotten out of habits due to not being capable of gathering as in times past. So this is, for the foreseeable future, the schedule going forward for the joint podcasting fun here is we're just going to work on 1 episode a month and try to make it as good as possible. Instead of trying to force ourselves to do something weekly that does not compute with our personal lives and the rest of international society right now.
This will be a long one, though. We're just warning you.
We ain't gonna be one of these 3, 4, 5 hour broadcast peoples.
God, no. I can barely stand Cornette's 3-hour shows. I have to take them in doses.
Oh, no. I will freely admit, as much as I love listening to that man analyze and dissect, I will go. It will take me, a couple of days to get through a given episode of either one of his shows. Just because it's like, it's like, that's just a lot of time to listen to somebody. So I'm fully in there with you.
Yeah.
Basically, we're going to talk to cover the subject without hopefully too many meanderings.
So let's, like I said, September, let's get topical out of the way, though. AEW had their pay-per-view. The masses rejoiced because, well, moving along.
Because there's a reason I've spent the last few days at the day job slowly composing the satirical song, "The Cult of Phil is on TV." Oh yeah, no, I have not. I've not finished writing the lyrics, so I can show those to you. But
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that is a nice segue, by the way.
you know his anger, it's all out. He even sued his buddy Cole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Phil is on TV.
they also made "Ride of the Valkyries" into a rap song. And here's where it's like, well, I'm done.
Well,
So
there goes the next renaissance of Amdrag.
so I got one for you. We're singing. Let's just say,
Hold on. I gotta unleash both barrels on this one.
which
There
one?
you go. Can you feel that one, Tony? Oh, you can sit and spin in 2 reps.
You wanted to do that all week, haven't you?
No, it took hip hop Valkyries to unleash the second barrel. I'm usually I'm not a double barrel over under kind of guy. I'm usually just a single shot, blow off a nut and laugh at you bleeding guy.
Oh yeah. So
no, yeah. Hip hop Valkyries deserves a double barrel.
You are singing, by the way. So let's sing about springtime for Hitler in Germany. Deutschland is happy and gay. We're marching to a faster pace. Look out, here comes the master race.
Yeah.
For those that think that Dave and I have turned to Nas Bowls or any of that, nope. Far from it. And if you actually read the lyrics for Springtime for Hitler, well, it's not exactly a pro-Nazi song either. It was written by a Jewish man. Was born Melvin Kaminsky, of course. I bet you were blown away when you learned that one there, Dave.
Not.
Yeah, I know.
I was surprised at what the born name was. I'm not going to say Mind eXpletive. By that point, I had become familiar with the concept of stage names and performing aliases. So I was like, okay, I know the concept exists. It was especially popular during that era. Let's remember, the great Marvel scribe Stan Lee was not born with that surname.
Yeah.
Stanley Lieber.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Let's go ahead and have a little get a little verklempt here about the man known today as Mel Brooks, 95 years old of Mel.
Yep.
By the way, you did guess who Mel started his career with? By the way, it is an actual legend. He started his career with. In fact, you've heard of him, huh?
Old Sid Caesar.
Yeah, you did look this up. Yep, good old Sid. His co-writers were Woody Allen, Neil Simon, and Larry Gelbart.
Yeah, I knew he would. He has always talked well of Sid and said Sid was, there for him early on. But yeah, I did have to look up to verify.
Oh,
how early on?
Also, he and Carl Reiner created the 2,000-Year-Old Man.
Oh yeah,
and if you didn't have Mel Brooks, you wouldn't have Maxwell Smart.
Yeah, along with Buck Henry, wrote Get Smart. That's that, and again, that's kind of one of the things that you don't see anymore in Hollywood. It's like Mel Brooks really did not start directing until he had been in the business as a writer and the occasional, stage comic for a good couple decades. Like his directing career started
like right after. Well, yeah, the writing career started right after Your Show of Shows in '54, whenever he left. So
what I'm saying is his first directorial credit was not until '67.
'67, yeah, which was for the movie that I just sang for.
I mean, you're figuring he started Your Show of Shows in 1950, so this is 17 years after he got started. Nowadays, people break into the business as a director in their 20s, and I'm like, no.
Wachowski's, Jordan Vogt Roberts, J.J. Abrams.
Heck, I think Snyder started young.
And so did Michael Bay.
Yeah. But no. Mel Brooks was born in 26. Producers was 67. He was 41 years old when he started his film directing career, which is the main thing he's known for now.
And he didn't even start producing his movies until 77, 10 years later.
Oh, yeah, no, director and producer credit. Yeah, that was, he was directing and writing starting with the producers in 67, but adding producer to cover the trinity of creative heads and taking the whole task on. Yeah, that was 77 with
High Anxiety. Yep.
That is one of them I have not actually seen.
We need to get a movie night.
I've seen clips of it, but I have not sat down and just watched the whole thing in one go.
I got to see if it's on. I'm able to find a way for both of us to watch it, and I can rent it if it's on YouTube Movies or other networks. We can go from there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got access to different streaming services and stuff. It's just one of those I don't think of when I'm sitting around on a day off.
True.
Looking at something. But
I mean, and David is Mel Brooks. I will pay for anything Mel Brooks because, well.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
His shit's quality.
I'm like, oh yeah, no, I've got subscriptions to streaming services. I have no, if one of them happens to have it up already, I will just go ahead and go for it.
If it's like you need to rent this, like, well, this money's going to Mel anyways. So,
yep. But
I got you one. He was Melvin Brooks whenever they had New Faces, which I'm looking this up on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, he was just a pure writer for that one.
Yeah. Filmed in CinemaScope and Eastman color. Oh, yeah.
As in Eastman Kodak before the merger.
Uh-huh.
God, that is, I mean, technically my parents were alive, but they were very, very young.
They were crawling around or walking maybe, but still.
They were walking. They were walking by 54, but.
Yeah, 54, both of my parents were 10.
Yeah. Yours are slightly older than mine.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, but I'm also slightly older than you, so.
Yeah. But
also
dude, let's be honest. I mean, we talk about the whole the having the trinity of creative roles, defining a lot of his movies. But two of his best, he did not produce. He was just writer director.
Maria, yeah.
Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein.
And for those that don't know what Blazing Saddles is, and this is my favorite line from that movie. I say it to anyone, don't you? Hey, boys, look what I got here. Where the white women at? Or, those are nice.
Whip this out.
Oh, those are nice knockers. Thank you. I'm at the door.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love how, 20 years later, he does the throwback joke in Men in Tights. A black sheriff? Why not? It worked in Blazing
Saddles.
And everybody's just like, oh, yeah, it was great. That was a great one. Yeah, good point.
It was a great movie, though.
Oh, no, but just the meta joke there. It's like, you almost feel like he wrote that entire character of a Chew just to play off that joke at the end.
Which
I would not be surprised if he did that.
Oh, the hilarious part, too, is everyone in a modern generation thinks Blazing Saddles is blatantly racist, and there are parts that are blatantly racist, but there's a reason they're
blatantly racist.
And Cleavon Little was more than happy to join in with Gene Wilder to make fun of the racists right in front of their faces.
Oh yeah, that's
that was the hilarious part. People were like, "Was Cleavon Little uncomfortable with the hard R jokes?" No, he wrote them with Mel.
Oh yeah, Mel was smart enough to be like, okay, if I'm going there, I'm gonna have input from my
black actor.
Yes.
My African
person of color
and
darker color than the rest of us on stage, because every person is a person of color. Nobody's invisible.
And yeah, Cleavon Little actually, half of those jokes that the up yours joke he was in on.
Yeah.
As he was like, let's just have an old lady that's just blatantly racist.
That's what I'm saying. It's
okay.
Like,
there we go.
and of course, let's remember, because it did pop up over and over in the years, Blazing Saddles did give us Mel working with Madeline Kahn.
Oh, yeah.
And Dom DeLuise.
God Dom. You know what? We're going to dedicate January to Dom, because Dom is just...
Yeah, Dom will be a good... We can go a whole ep on Dom in January.
Because Dom worked with everyone from Mel Brooks to Burt Reynolds and made everyone look good. Dom was the kind of comedian that made Johnny Carson piss himself, if you remember all those clips we saw.
Oh yeah,
and
Dom and Rodney Dangerfield were some of the best at breaking Johnny.
Oh, Don Rickles and Jonathan Winters. That's your top four that have been on Johnny's show.
Yeah.
So we're doing January. January's Dom. Let's do that.
January, a few more episodes down, we'll sit down and gush over Dom DeLuise. But let's be honest, because we talked about wrestling at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Everyone's most awkward horseman wasn't the original Mongo.
Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
Yeah. The original Mongo. I will always believe, even if he has never admitted it publicly, that's where Steve McMichael got that nickname.
It is. It is.
It's been confirmed. I admit I haven't gone deep into it because, well, frankly, speaking has never been Steve McMichael's top skill.
This is a bit a back history, but they said Jim McMahon called him that, Mongo, after the character from Blazing Saddles, and the fact that Steve kind of resembled the actor that played him, which was Alex Karras, who is also a football player.
Four-time Pro Bowl player with the Detroit Lions.
Who'd have thought you'd have heard that shit?
Yeah. The Detroit Lions had Pro Bowl players?
Yes, they did. When the Pro Bowl meant something.
The Lions meant something.
That movie is more of a disappointment to the entire town of Detroit than the automotive industry and RoboCop 3.
Uh, for reference, folks, if you thought you remember the name Alex Karras from something else, he did star as the adoptive father of Webster Long in the ABC sitcom Webster.
Yep. Emmanuel Lewis.
Yep, Manuel Lewis.
That was a demonic garble. I don't know if it came from you or from me, but who cares? Let's get back to Mel because
But yeah,
Mel is God's favorite Jewish man. Or at least we think he is.
But yeah, now let's remember, as I said, the big two that really got him his street cred so he could eventually be his own producer. Frankenstein also had Gene Wilder.
Yep. And a very, very young Terry Garr, who did have nice knockers, by the way.
Oh, yeah. But
which
along with Madeline Kahn again, as I said, Miss Kahn and Mr. Brooks did enjoy working with each other.
Oh, and also there was a certain now retired actor that was in that movie. One Gene Hackman. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the blind guy.
Blind guy.
Also,
Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle is the monster. Cloris Leachman. Frau Blücher.
I do have a funny Cloris Leachman story that I'll tell you off the record. But my ex-wife did work for Cloris Leachman. If you remember Fran.
I remember hearing of Fran before.
Yeah, she did work a stage show or two with Cloris Leachman. That's one we'll have to, As she put it, Cloris, even in her old age, was very beautiful. But she was cranky as hell and she was old school. And I'm like, sweetheart, what'd you expect?
But
which, by the way, Miss Cloris died this past January.
Yep.
All we know is she's probably up there giving St. Peter hell, demanding top billing, and we'll have it no other way.
But yeah, we had the parody of the general Western genre in Blazing Saddles.
And a parody of Frankenstein in general. It was right there.
Mostly the Universals. And the decision to film it in black and white.
And then just before he got the trifecta, we had Silent Movie.
Again, his tongue-in-cheek salute to the silent films he grew up on.
Which, by the way, the joke with the wall-eyed man? That's Marty Feldman.
Yeah, who was also in Young Frankenstein as Igor.
Igor. But yeah, that's the joke. Looks fine to me. That joke, that's Marty Feldman.
Yeah.
Yes, he was born with misaligned eyes.
Silent Movie gives us more Dom DeLuise, Marty Feldman, Bernadette Peters, who
is also exceptionally beautiful, even now in her elder years.
Oh, yeah. I said Bernadette Peters, who could fill up at least half a show on her own.
Hell, she actually
Caesar.
Yeah. He had Sid in there, which, by the way, Bernadette Peters she managed to make Clint Eastwood smile in that movie they were in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bernadette may be a good chunk of an episode on her own sometime next year.
But yeah, cameos by Anne Bancroft, Liza Minnelli. Thanks for the link, by the way. Burt Reynolds, James Caan, Marceau, and Paul Newman.
And if you don't know Marceau, it's very simple. He was Silent Movies.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and anyone that's in the
French actor and mime artist.
Probably one of the greatest mimes, and I'm going to say in history.
Yeah.
To understate it to anyone that would listen in eventually when we put this out, I'm not going to crow too much on Marceau, but just how I tell anyone to ask me about him to go look up his clips on YouTube. That's how much expression he put into his silent art.
Oh God, yes. I mean, it's like this. I know we always backtrack to it because it's what brought us together, but like I would show clips of him performing to wrestlers when you need to demonstrate to them what it means to have to sell facially during a match.
Oh God, yeah.
Like
Jim,
if you can be half as good as Marceau, everybody, even in the cheap seats, will believe anything you need them to believe.
Jim Cornette refers to that. I think Jim Ross also talks about that too, if I remember.
Oh yeah,
And
Jim has said on multiple occasions, most of his favorite wrestlers, it was like you could believe the pain because you could see it written on their face, even though they weren't in pain.
even I know you don't like him very much, but old Easy Eric Bischoff said the same thing too, where someone that told him in wrestling that they studied, like they would watch old Marceau movies. And Bischoff's comment to that person was, keep watching them.
Eric was not completely oblivious to what good ideas was. He was just in many ways the original model for what we have in later decades with Dixie Carter and Tony Khan of
kind of the figurehead.
So he became so enamored of his own roster and so wanted to be friends with them.
Well, yeah.
That he lost track of that ability to just focus on what makes good TV.
He did. And I think to this day, he still talks about that he did. So high anxiety, again, that's one we're going to have to watch.
Yes.
I'm not going to do it while you're with Kelly. You know, that's one of those that let's watch on our own, have a bro night, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's got to compartmentalize.
Yeah. Your time with Kelly is your time with Kelly. I do need to say hello to her again sometime. I've just been busy. And then I had this past weekend, I had the 72-hour quarantine because Dad caught the Delta variant.
Yeah. Oh, it's. I mean, as I said, we've all been getting it on both ends. You remember me grousing about how long I was waiting around when I had to get emergency tested.
Oh yeah. Oh, also, high anxiety is where we get the MacGuffin.
Was that the original MacGuffin?
Mr. MacGuffin.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. The concept was a trope before that.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was. Angus MacPhail and Hitchcock.
Yeah,
those were the two originators.
That's the joke. High anxiety is
it's a MacGuffin
satire of Hitchcock's films.
Yeah, it is a psycho comedy.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks is basically Dr. Harpo Thorndike. There's your jokes there. There's a reference or two.
Yep.
High anxiety, a mix of acrophobia and vertigo.
Oh, look, Madeline Kahn's back again.
As is Cloris. We got Harvey Korman.
Because eventually everybody has to do something with Harvey Korman.
Dick Van Patten, same there.
And I don't mean that even, and I'm not being critical about that. Harvey Korman was just that good at his craft that it's like, oh, dude, if we can get Korman in for even just a single scene cameo, let's do it.
Which later on,
2008, but
later on, you saw him on the Carol Burnett show and then you see him in Mama's Family, like Once in a Blue Moon. which branched
Yep.
off from the Carol Burnett show, but that's near here nor there.
Did
Let's
a lot of voice work in
Yeah.
his late years, which is good.
So I want to ask you something. I mean, this is a serious
The
question.
holiday special.
No.
That's one of those. I'm happy I have a DVD copy so I can make sure people see it, so they can judge for themselves how bad it actually is.
Oh,
On the other hand, it's like every time I'm looking through the collection and I just stop on it for a second, it's like, oh God, the Star Wars holiday special.
So I do have an actual serious question. Has anyone found the History of the World Part 2 yet?
No. It's apparently it is in the same locker that the script for Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, is in.
And also, which Leisure Suit Larry game is missing? That one. They're all in that same locker.
4.
Yeah. They're all in the same locker.
Yeah, the thing with the Leisure Suit Larry thing is a lot funnier just because it was essentially a self-depreciating gag by, oh my God, now I can't remember the creator's name.
I can't even. Yeah, it is Hal Lowe. Okay.
Hal Lowe, because he wrote the first 3, which like finished off the original story of Larry.
Yeah.
Sierra was like, no, dude, you really need to keep making Larry games. We need the money, and these are great games. But he had nowhere to go with the story.
Yeah.
And one of the other creators for, in Sierra that was working another game just kind of jokingly said to him, it's like, well, then don't worry about it. Just write the script for part 5 till you think of something. And he just took it literally, and the next game was 5. And he took advantage of
the joke
of that there is a missing game as a meta joke to cover the gaps in continuity and just get Larry back to the place he needed Larry in to make another game. To the point that in the later games, it was officially subtitled "The Case of the Missing Floppies."
So,
because he swore to all the game magazines and reporters that, oh no, I was totally working on 4, and then somebody stole my floppy disks, which has happened to actual programmers with other games. That's what made the story believable at the time. Yeah. And then years later, he confessed, he's like, no, that was all bullshit. I literally could not think of a story for 4.
Pretty much. So he just went with it.
I just skipped continuity and did a soft reboot of the series starting with 5.
Pretty much. So, History of the World Part 1.
Yep.
For those wondering.
To me, I mean, I love Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, but to me, History of the World Part 1, partly because along with High Anxiety, that's when he had the trinity of roles going.
But just remember, Dave, it's good to be the king.
Exactly. But no, to me, that is when Mel Brooks films, as I think of them, really
just took off. Just shot like a cannon.
He had all 3 roles. He had done them once in High Anxiety, so he was comfortable shouldering all the responsibility for the film. And he knew exactly what kind of comedy was his bread and butter, what he did better than anybody else in Hollywood. After, as I said, High Anxiety, Silent Movie, Saddles, Frankenstein, 12 Chairs, yada, yada. That's where it's like, this is when Mel Brooks was WrestleMania main eventer.
So, by the way, the Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 15. Oi, 10 commandments.
Remember, Wait while the master bathes.
Oh. Or Sid Caesar as a caveman depicting the first artist, which gives the rise to the first critic, the first marriages, Homo sapien and then homosexual.
Uh-huh.
You know, the first primitive
Real quick,
weapons.
you have cameo appearances by Nigel Hawthorne, Hugh Hefner, John Hurt, Phil Leeds, Barry Levinson, Jackie Mason, Andrew Sachs, and Henny Youngman. Also,
And of course, Paul
narrates each story.
Yep. The main actors were Sid Caesar, Shecky Green, and a debuting tap dancer that some of you may have heard of. Well, a lot of you should have heard of. A man known as Gregory Hines.
It's the Ethiopian Shimsham Sandance.
Charlie Callis, and then the regulars, Ron Carey, Dom DeLuise, Madeline Kahn, Harvey Korman, Cloris Leachman, Andreas Voltsunas, and Spike Milligan, which, by the way, Gregory Hines ended up in History of the World Part 1 because the original Josephus was going to be Richard Pryor.
Yep.
And then Richard Pryor decided to do his best and most controversial act at the same time and imitated a matchstick. Kids.
Yeah.
Kids, drugs are bad. Do not freebase and light stuff on fire at the same time.
Yourself.
Most especially yourself.
That may be the greatest end to any stand-up performance ever. The one he did, the first one he did after he recovered.
Yeah.
Where he gets like the whole thing, the whole stand-up, he gets to the very end. He's like, oh, by the way, I just want to say to all y'all guys out there in Hollywood, all my fellow comedians, all you movie people going, we so sorry about Richard. Oh, he's such a great guy. Oh, we just pray to God that he's going, recover from this and get this. Fuck you. I remember I heard about how all you were sitting there while I was still laid up in the hospital doing this number. And he pulls out the matchbook, lights the match, and he's going, hey, here's Richard Pryor going down the street, check the mail. And that's it. Like, it just, the whole special ends on that joke. I'm like, that's Richard Pryor. At the end of the day, he's like, I'm putting all y'all on blast. I know y'all two-faced.
The only one that he didn't have anything against was George Carlin, because George Carlin equally talked as much shit as Richard.
Oh, yeah. He's like, Richard's like, no. Carlin gets away with it because he was talking shit to me before I set myself on fire.
Before, during, and after.
Yeah. He only had, it's like Cornette in the Sable Sunny comparison. I don't care if you're a cunt. I just want you to be an upfront cunt. Don't be a two-faced cunt.
Yeah. Where he did hear about the joke where Carlin is like, in the race for bad events happening to comedians, Richard Pryor had a heart attack. I had a heart attack. Richard Pryor had a second heart attack. I had a second heart attack. Richard Pryor lights himself on fire. Fuck it. I'm going to have another heart attack.
Yep. But,
which,
yeah, no, History of the World. Yeah. Gregory Hines subbed in for
Richard Pryor as Josephus.
Richard Pryor due to health concerns. But
he lit himself on fire. That's beyond concern. That's just straight up.
Hey, that's you got to admit though, that is one better than the later Christopher Titus.
Oh,
I was an alcoholic in high school, and then I found a one-step program: fall face first into a bonfire. You don't need AA after that. You're done drinking.
Yep. Yeah. Madeline Kahn did suggest Gregory Hines after a tap performance she saw. History was made and it worked out. By the way, another cameo, which I forgot about. Which
Empress Nympho.
Yeah. B. Arthur as the unemployment insurance clerk.
Oh, you're a bullshit artist.
Yes.
You did bullshit last week. We did try to bullshit Yes. All right.
The one part
her delivery
where he
is
was just
100%. I'm like, did you hang out at the DMV for a day to figure out that tone of voice?
no, she was a Marine.
Oh, so she just did the drill sergeant hearing complaints from the
Yes.
from
Yes,
the trainees.
pretty much.
Don't care. Get back in line.
Yeah, she enlisted during World War II. They put her in the women's reserve. Served as a typist. You can imagine
Yep.
the shit she heard on a regular basis, and especially because she went to Lejeune.
Oh God, Camp Lejeune.
She was probably like, there is nothing that you can say to me that could make this day any worse. But I'm sure you're going to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had the perfect deadpan voice.
Yeah. Which played off well in Golden Girls as well. But no, I'm sorry. The best thing in History of the World Part 1 is when Mel Brooks and Gregory Hines are hiding in the palace with the help of the Empress Nympho. The eunuch test with the stripper who is also from that region of the world as African descent, and she's or not, excuse me, not stripper, but exotic dancer.
Yes.
She did keep her clothes on, though she was not wearing much to start with, but she's doing the dance in front of the different eunuchs. He's a eunuch. He's a eunuch. He's dead. And then it's just because, they have the big fans for fanning the Empress and all this. He gets to Gregory Hines. You just see the one feather in the middle of the fan rise straight up. He's a eunuch. He's a eunuch. He's dead. It's like, damn. God, the eunuch test.
Yes. I forgot about that. All right.
And of course, Dora, as Hines is watching her in front of the legit eunuchs, getting the Gene Simmons kiss tongue. Because you got to have a good visual gag.
Yeah. So the other funny
show, the Inquisition. Here we go. I know you're wishing that we'd go away.
Yes. But here's where it gets funnier. At the end of the film, they had a teaser trailer to sell the joke.
History of the World Part 2.
Hitler on ice.
Using space.
We kind of got that. Kind of.
All right, so let's go ahead and get it out officially. Despite the preview, no sequel has been released or was ever planned, and the Part 1 of the film's title is merely a historical joke, as the title of the film itself is a reference to the History of the World Volume 1, written by Sir Walter Raleigh while prisoner in the Tower of London. He had only managed to complete the first volume before being beheaded.
There's a reason Sir Walter was beheaded. He was a pirate.
Oh, yeah, Sir Raleigh was not a good person. We do not dispute him deserving to be beheaded, but it's like, oh, he wrote the History of the World Volume 1 and never got around and didn't live long enough to do Volume 2.
As well.
We'll call this film History of the World Part 1, tease a Part 2, and never get to it. Because that's the joke coming full circle.
Although Mel has explained in recent years that we're living through the History of the World Part 2. But at the rate everyone's going, we're not going to make it to a Part 3. That's not Mel being a nihilist, by the way. That's the joke.
Yeah.
Speaking of, maybe we get to Jews in space. All hail President Scroob. Good thing we don't have camera on right now where we do the salute.
Keep firing, assholes.
So,
Spaceballs is just it. It never lets up for a second. I adore that movie. It is probably my favorite Mel Brooks movie, just scene for scene, because it just never lets up.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
It's like, even if there's no witty one-liners, pay attention. He's constantly mocking the Star Wars merchandising. Almost every scene has some kind of Spaceballs merchandising in it.
Spaceballs, the coffee cup.
Spaceballs, the bed sheet. Spaceballs, the toilet paper.
Spaceballs, the contraceptive.
Yep.
For him and for her.
Hey, he keeps hanging out with Marlene and Charlene. He better.
Uh-huh.
Chew your gum.
Okay. So.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, my God. And.
Nose.
By the way.
That is the best visual joke in the whole movie.
The nose.
If you do not give us the password, we shall. He will perform surgery on her nose. I don't understand. She got a new nose for her sweet 16.
We're giving her.
You'll give her back.
Nose.
And it's like the stereotype long, warty, old witch nose. Even though this is like she had to be 20, 21 at the time of that filming, Daphne Zuniga.
Yeah.
Her just, no! Where did you get that? Just that absolute classic post-plastic surgery denial.
And
Bill, oh my God, the nose.
Which too many people, though, that we can say rest in peace to in this movie.
Funny, she doesn't look Jewish. The Druid for Jude thing, like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. But Bill Pullman, the late John Candy, Rick Moranis, of course, Daphne, the late Dick Van Patten,
and of course, once again, our buddy Dom DeLuise, his Pizza the Hut.
Oh, they're delicious.
He ate himself to death.
And of course, the late Joan Rivers as the voice of Dot Matrix with the Virgin Alarm.
Goodbye, Virgin Alarm. It's designed to go off before you do.
That's what Dot says. But the plot of that movie, Mel Brooks as President Scrooge squandered the planet Spaceballs fresh air. They're trying to steal Druid.
I love how as a 100%, even in the mid 80s when that was filmed, we had enough history of just lying through their teeth presidents that he threw in there the joke where President Scrooge's talking to the press and, oh, yes, no, there's no problem with the oxygen. I've heard the same rumors myself. Assure your readers everything's fine. As he is grabbing these emergency oxygen supply for himself. It's like, that's just the fact that joke is in there and nobody blinks at it. Even when that movie came out, it's like, yeah, we know the president lies through his damn teeth about any given crisis.
And also a very young Tim Russ as a soldier of dark helmet.
Yep.
With a pick.
And don't forget our police academy buddy there.
Yep.
Sweeps and the creeps.
The bleeps. Bleep. Bleep, 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 bleep. The sweeps. The creeps.
And the creeps. Yeah, Michael Winslow.
Get to the point. Sir, we've been jammed.
Yep.
What do you mean jammed? Taste the jam? Only one person would dare give me the raspberry. Lodestar!
Yep.
Hey! Hey, fucker! Back the camera up!
But yeah, that
Which was also hilarious. Fourth wall jokes there.
Oh yeah, plenty of fourth wall jokes in that movie. And that's what I'm saying. Like that was the stuff that's like, oh yeah, Mel Brooks played with it before, but that's when he was just like, you know what? Nobody metas like I do, so let's just go for it. What? Prince Valium.
Yep. Jim J. Bullock.
The completely useless pretty boy Prince. Whose, yes, his name is a reference to both the drug and the longtime newspaper comic strip character Prince Valiant. Who, most amusingly, inspired the character design for Etrigan the Demon for DC Comics.
Yep.
A one-off story where Prince Valiant was going to a costume ball, disguised himself as a hideous creature because, oh, Prince Valiant's so handsome, you know, this hideous looking thing. Kirby basically copied that face verbatim for Etrigan the Demon.
Oh, yeah.
But he never denied it when anybody called him on it. He's like, oh, no, I totally stole it from Prince Valiant. It's like, okay. But yeah, that Princess Vespa and Princess Prince Valium. I'm sorry, it's the hair.
Oh, which, by the way, for those that I'm going to let you in on an inside joke too, Dave. Vespa means wasp.
Yep.
It's the same thing in Spanish and Italian. Vespa means wasp. That's a joke on itself, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Princess Wasp, as in white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Despite being Jewish.
Uh-huh. She doesn't look Jewish.
Yep.
So Mel put in a whole lot of jokes in that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one I'm kind of 50-50 on, this movie. The next one he did after Spaceballs, which was about 4 years later.
Yeah,
Life Stinks. Yeah.
Which I've seen it. It is a good movie.
Yeah.
In and of itself, but
it's actually the one of the few movies that's not a parody and it doesn't break the fourth wall.
No, it is still blatantly a comedy, but it's more of a, it fits more in the vein of like a lot of the other comedies that were being done in the 80s. Things like Trading Places and where it's the comedy's a little more subtle than we've been getting from Mel, but it's still there. Like it is a funny movie, but it's more of a throwback to the early stuff Mel did with like the Producers and the 12 Chairs. And even then, to an extent, stuff like Silent Movie before he, 100% settled into the fourth wall breaking stuff.
Right. Now compared to four,
it is definitely, if you're interested in Mel Brooks, it is definitely a movie worth seeing because it is him sliding out of his comfort zone slightly.
Oh yeah. Now again, 4 years before, he was working with George Lucas on Spaceballs. I forgot that.
Oh yeah, but with Life Stinks, you got Leslie Ann Warren.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey Tambor, Stuart Ponkin.
Yep.
Rudy DeLuca.
Yeah, because Rudy would always make an appearance.
Oh yeah.
Theodore Teddy Wilson, he from Good Times.
Yeah.
Carmen Flippy, Michael Ensign, and then we'll just kind of skip over the list, but we had the amazing Billy Barty, which will be nice. He was a little person, all 3'9" of him. he did found the Little People of America Foundation, so give Billy his respect. He might have been small, but he did a lot of big shit.
Oh, Billy and Warwick Davis are your big two when it comes to little actors.
And they were together in one movie called Willow, which is another movie we probably should watch. That's probably going to be its own episode.
It has been way too long since I've sat and watched Willow in one sitting.
Oh, and also you had Brian Thompson, who is a great character actor.
Yep.
Always seems to play that kind of scarred, ugly looking, that villain.
Yep. But
what we're trying to say is he's big, he's scary, and he doesn't look that good. He's good at some parts, but yeah. Life Stinks was definitely one of those movies that came out of left field. It didn't do as good as people thought, so Mel gets it. Mel gets an idea, and everyone in Hollywood's running.
Yeah,
because
we went back to the parodies with Robin Hood and Dracula Dead and Loving It.
But Robin Hood Men in Tights, which when was Robin Hood Prince of Thieves? Was it the year before?
It's a couple years because that's the primary thing he's parodying, and he would have had to have
1991, whenever he was making Life Stinks, and that movie came out and blew everything out of the water.
Yeah, Prince of Thieves, and dude, don't be wrong. I in fact was just talking with some of my extended family over the holiday weekend. Prince of Thieves is my favorite Robin Hood adaptation as far as Hollywood movies.
I want to say number two is
at the same time, I love Men in Tights because there's a lot in Prince of Thieves that needs to be skewered.
Oh yeah. They also got in Disney's Robin Hood, which is a pretty good cartoon adaptation. I will give them that.
Disney's Robin Hood is definitely up there in the adaptations. But
I want to say my second favorite Robin Hood, other than Prince of Thieves, is The Adventures of Robin Hood, and that was the Errol Flynn 30s adaptation.
Yeah, we had discussed the Errol Flynn one.
Yeah,
that's how we got started on it. Was the original convo was Errol Flynn. And then we moved into the different Robin Hoods. But Men in Tights, 90% of the parodying is Prince of Thieves.
You got a little bit of adventures in there because the wild boar.
Yeah.
No.
That's a wild boar.
This is a wild pig. That's a wild boar. And
it's
all right, I will say,
Sheriff, I've just returned from the Crusades. My father couldn't get me into the reserve.
Carrie Elwes, which everyone remembers from back in the day, playing the Scarlet Pimpernel and the Princess Bride, and these days they can watch him online yelling at clouds and my Drumpf.
Now I will say he did an excellent job for the American dub of the Ghibli film The Cat Returns.
He did, and I also did like him in the first Saw movie before I got burnt out on that entire fucking series.
Again, that's one of those that it's like, okay, I get why y'all made the first Saw movie. I can understand making a sequel, but it's like,
did you have to make 45 fucking sequels?
Yeah, it's like it's just that's.
I got.
I just there's I'm too tired to summon the full
rage. Yeah.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, wrath. But
yeah.
One of these days, whether it's joint or in my solo ramblings, I'm going to discuss the fact that Hollywood needs to quit making everything a less than 3 movie franchise.
Right, pretty much.
I'll concede one sequel here and there, but not everything. has
Needs
to be this
three-
huge. Yeah.
3,000 sequels. Yes.
But Men in Tights, we had a cameo from Dom DeLuise, who was
Don
getting
Giovanni.
older, couldn't carry a huge role at this point.
But God, was he funny as Don Giovanni, the hitman.
Oh, his role was, and let's not forget, at the very, very end of the movie, Patrick Stewart is King Richard.
I reserve the right to kiss the bride. And the rabbi's like, remember, kids, it's good to be the king.
And yes, we mentioned a Chew earlier, played by young Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah. His dad was played by, say what you will about his time in Scientology and his stuff on South Park, but Isaac Hayes is a fucking legend.
Oh, dude, I said the character of Chef was
Hilarious.
Basically a parody of Isaac Hayes' public reputation.
Yeah, it was.
So it was a brilliant meta satire. It's just he got to the point where his Scientology was making it where he could no longer laugh at himself.
Pretty much. Carrie Ellis was Robin Hood, Richard Lewis,
Prince John,
and Roger Rees, who is a very serious Welsh actor. He was very serious
until this movie.
Yeah, and
Amy Yazbek, who's
holy shit, she was hot. John Ritter was fucking lucky when he was still here.
Oh my God, did you ever hear the interview where she talked about why she fell in love with him when they did the first Problem Child?
No, I gotta hear this.
So she had been doing some modeling and TV cameo work here and there. She was not doing anything regular or A-list. So as was happened in the early 90s and stuff, there was a women should be very lightweight thing going on. So she's sitting there going, getting ready to do Problem Child. And one of the first conversations he has with her is, have you been sick? Are you okay? And, it's like, do you want me to get you some food or something? He basically encouraged her to gain the weight back and to get back to a healthy weight because that's what's beautiful.
Yeah.
And he immediately just was a kind, caring person. He's like, no, you at your height, you should not be this weight. That's not going to be good for you in the long run. Here, let me go down to catering and get you a sandwich. No, he didn't send an intern. He went to catering himself and got her. Basically,
John Ritter was being a body positive feminist without declaring himself as such, nor was he being a white knight either.
He's just a really good person and recognized, no, your BMI is a little off center there.
And
but literally, she was below average weight.
And John, we do thank you. We do thank you for finding her. We do thank you for finding her the sandwiches and the chicken and the various things you fed her because, oh my God. And those Problem Child movies, she was
in both movies as different characters. And there was actually the meta joke where Ritter's character meets the school nurse. And
you kind of look like someone I knew.
I feel like I've met you before. It's like, oh yeah, the meta joke. Yeah, she was in this. She was in the next one, Dracula Dead and Loving It.
But
she had a great run in the back half of Wings.
My favorite part of Men in Tights. My favorite part.
The key to the greatest treasure in all the land.
No. You were skipping too far ahead. You have to think about this one.
But again, she needed to be at that healthier weight to pull
she did. But no.
That joke off.
So, how did you get the name of Latrine? Well, back in 400 BC, I used to be called Shithouse.
No. It's my family changed it in the 4th century.
4th century, yeah.
It changed it
from
to
shit.
latrine. Yeah, it used to be
Shithouse.
Good
choice.
Good
change.
Tracy Ullman, brilliant as the witch latrine,
who parodies the witch from
Lust for the Sheriff of Rottingham.
Who is a parody of the witch? What's her name, Morgana? And I gotta watch the Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, as I said, I haven't watched Prince of Thieves in a while. I don't remember the character name, but
and of course Rabbi Tuckman,
the Mel Brooks role,
trying to advertise the circumcision kits. Don't buy them. Just donate to them.
Yeah.
And Megan Cavanaugh, who played Broomhilde, which she was a large woman, and I'm talking about Megan Cavanaugh, but
yeah,
probably one of the people that probably you and I have met on conventions.
She made it a strength.
Yeah. She
also played Marla in A League of Their Own.
Yeah. She is openly lesbian, but she was one of the nicest people we met on the convention circuit. If you think about it, she's probably one of the nicest ever. And as you said, she knew she was a bigger girl, just went with it.
Let's not forget Mark Blankfield is blind servant Blinken. Hey, Blinken. Hey, Blinken. No. Hey,
Blinken.
Just the Braille playboy.
Oh, Sir Robin, you lost your arms. And she grew a nice pair of boobs. I'm over here, Blinken. No.
Just over the halfway point in the movie, when the hitman grabs the arrow out of midair. How'd you do that, Blinken? My other senses are greatly enhanced. I could hear it coming from a mile away. Good job, Blinken. Huh? Somebody say something to me. The delivery tone of his lines were just perfect.
Kind of an idiot savant he was.
He would go from humble brag to completely oblivious that the joke's on him without taking a breath, and the tone of voice was perfect. Oh, God, he played that role so well.
But yeah, Rotten Tomatoes hates this movie because they're like, it's not Deathaplan, it's scatological, it's profoundly silly and often utterly groan-worthy. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Mel Brooks movie, dumbass.
Robin Hood Men in Tights has an amiable anything called goofiness that has made it a cult favorite. No shit, genius. Have you ever watched any,
It's like, do you understand what the point of satire is?
Yeah, they were like, everyone thought it was crashingly unfunny until years later they're like, actually, it is funny.
As I said,
it's up to your taste and if you've got a sense of humor. Most people on Rotten Tomatoes do not. Okay. The critics on Rotten Tomatoes don't have a sense of humor.
Oh yeah. The critics, because they're all basically never wases.
Yeah, they probably put a sheet over.
Never be Siskel and or Ebert.
Probably put a sheet over themselves at night, fart as loud and as smelly as they can, and then they huff in that vintage. Yeah. God, no. Please don't do that. But you are right, by the way. Let's get to Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Well, wait, one more.
Go ahead.
Just gotta love. Because again, look at the movie. Look at who distributed it. 20th Century Fox. We have to alert the villagers. We need to get a message to them quick. Well, fox them.
What? Wait.
Yeah. The instead of as a joke on fax machines, but it was a
Fox.
Yes. So they put the little note in the Fox, and it like pew, zooms off like the characters on fast forward.
Yep.
And you even see the name of the trainer as 20th Century Fox, because that was the distributor. It's like, damn it, Mel. The people that are getting your movie out so it can make money. You're even gonna make fun of them. Yes.
And the bad part is they loved the joke.
Yeah.
They were like,
nice.
We'll take it. Dracula Dead and Loving It was 2 years later, if you remember that one. Probably one of my favorite Leslie Nielsen moments too.
Oh, definitely. I would say this in the first
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. Thank you.
Sorry,
I was getting my other parodies.
Oh, I know.
First Naked Gun and Dracula Dead and Loving It are probably his two best comedy movies.
It's also had Steven Weber, Amy Asbeck, Harvey Korman again, Peter McNichol and his wife, Anne Bancroft.
And we will speak of Peter McNichol in future months.
And also had Lisette Anthony. And if you didn't, I think every kid should get an appreciation for Lisette Anthony because she used to be 90s spank material.
Oh, yeah. Lucy. And she was Lucy in this role with Amy Asbeck as the Mina role. But yeah, no. Peter McNichol as Renfield is just...
Hold on. And in fact, I'm going to send you that to your Telegram, but this is her today.
All right, hold on. Let me switch windows here. I mean, I wouldn't kick her out of bed.
And then, like I said, around that period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, I have seen Dracula Dead and Loving It more than once.
Did you keep it in your pants more than once? I'm not being serious on that. Please don't tell me. Anyhow.
Yeah, let's see. She also was in the infamous Krull, Night Train to Murder, The Emperor's New Clothes.
In other words, this was her big break.
I mean, Krull did not perform well, but it was.
He tried.
It was one of those movies everybody was talking about, for good or ill.
But Steven Weber is Jonathan Harker.
And again, Weber was also with Wings.
With Amy.
With Amy Asbeck. They would.
There would be no appearance, though, by Dom DeLuise in this movie because, well,
as we said, his health was already bad in the 2 years before with Robin Hood. So,
although we did have David, his son,
yes,
who was pretty fucking hilarious,
who I think had an uncredited role in Robin Hood too.
He did,
yeah. So it was a good transition piece there. Wait, was he the last student standing?
Yes, he was.
Ah, yes. I thought that was the one. He was the last student standing. So Mel Brooks is Professor Van Helsing. So he opens up with doing the autopsy and the infamous all the rookie students, med students fainting. So David DeLuise is the one that just refuses to be put into shock by what is inside a human body. Mel Brooks Professor Van Helsing has a hold my beer moment. Like, oh, you want to play?
We shall play.
But Megan Cavanaugh returns.
Yeah.
As Essie the maid.
Yep.
Girl, whatever proper term was. Lady Well, no, it wouldn't be lady in waiting because they weren't royalty. Just
Uh, chambermaid.
chambermaid. Yeah, that would be it. Thank you.
That's the term you're looking for. Chambermaid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to start going through the list. And,
I understand.
yes.
Uh,
Harvey Korman is Dr. Seward.
yeah. Peter McNichol
Yes,
was
heavily influenced by the
yeah.
recently released Bram Stoker's Dracula movie.
Which, by the way, was pretty good. Well, we're not going to completely shit on.
I have it on DVD. It is having read the novel. Now, I did read it years after I saw the movie, but it is as accurate as a representation or adaptation of the novel as Hollywood's ever going to do.
It is.
There was still some extra stuff added and some and some tweaks, but it's as close as anybody's ever going to get to doing that book, partially because I'm sorry, the middle of the book really drags.
Yep.
Like they had to do something to help the pace there with that book. It's an incredibly well written book for what it is, but yeah, there's like 3 chapters of that book in the middle where you're just literally you're getting through stuff where nothing is happening just so something can happen later on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we just have to gut through this stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that's but yeah, no, nothing against the movie, but again, like Prince of Thieves,
there were some parts.
No matter how much you may love a movie, the better a movie is, the more it needs to be skewered, because nothing is perfect and nothing is sacred. To quote our buddy Lewis Black here, I believe that's why there's that quote in the Bible about a golden calf.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course,
and Bancroft as the gypsy woman.
The whole comedy, basically, Mina getting spirited to Carfax Abbey, Seward assuming that Harker's trying to seduce Mina, and then Van Helsing's like, wait, quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah.
The puncture marks, the mirror trick, everything.
And see, that's one of the things I love about the Mel Brooks satire of the Van Helsing character, because in the Bram Stoker's movie and the original novel, and it's something people overlook because you just think of Van Helsing as, the vampire expert, the one that teaches the others how to slay vampires. He's actually a jackass.
Yeah.
Like, and Mel plays that on a well done comedic level in this movie. It's like he's a funny jackass now, but it's still that core of, no, this is not a guy that most people get along with on a social and personable level.
Nope.
But yeah, that and that's part of why I never liked the actual like Van Helsing movie. I'm like, no, he's
Abraham Van Helsing's a dickhead.
He's not this dashing young badass. He was an old scholar.
He was a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah, had seen so much and had spent so much time with his nose in books. He had almost no empathy for other human beings. He just hated the undead more than he just disliked people.
And every movie that properly portrayed him, like
Bram Stoker movie one, which was now again, I feel stupid. Anthony Hopkins.
Sir Anthony Hopkins play, and
brilliantly.
And I'm not going to do this to abuse the term, but he portrayed Van Helsing as a bit autistic in today's terms, if you think about it.
Yes, because
one-track mind.
If you read the original novel, that's kind of how he comes off.
He has no social skills. He's kind of one-track minded.
Yeah. God, I love the part in the movie where he's talking with God, I'm sorry. I get the two girls, the two females swapped. Who's the first one to get bitten and turned? And
That's Lucy.
yeah, that's Lucy. That's right.
That's again the lovely Lysette Anthony who played Lucy.
He's talking to the returned Harker and Nina after Harker finally hitchhikes his way back to Europe, for lack of a better term. And like they're sitting over dinner, and he's just chowing down, and they're like, "Did Lucy go easy?" "Oh no, we had to chop her head off and stuff garlic down the stump after we drove a little steak. We're still beating heart."
Yep.
And he's like the whole time he never stops munching just long enough to speak, and he's just eating and chilling, and it's just like, how do you just say that like somebody's asking you what the weather will be tomorrow?
Which is just about as bad as, again, sorry, Anthony.
That's about the worst he gets in the movie, but that's the point. It's like,
whereas in the 91 version of Bram Stoker's Dracula, you actually see this autistic shithead cutting her head off.
Oh yeah,
and driving a stake through the heart.
Oh yeah, the gore level that God, I'm horrible. Speaking of autistic, I'm just completely blanking on names tonight without my notes.
You're good.
The director.
I'm trying to think who directed that one too. But don't worry.
Big guy.
92, but
yeah.
So just the year before, but hold on, director Francis Ford Coppola.
I was like, I know it's one of the high artist style.
It would be Coppola or Scorsese.
Oh, yeah. Coppola's use of blood was brilliantly satirized there, where they go to stake Lucy, and it's just like what, 5-10 gallons of blood just is like shooting out.
Yes.
Just over and over again in this wonder. It's like covers the whole room they're in. Just for the payoff at the end, or in the next scene where they go back, it's like Harker's just drenched. I mean, just, brewed bloodbath type, just thing. And he's just head to toe coated in it. And Brooks is walking by. He's got like maybe one tiny drop on his shirt. And the Dr. Seward's just, why do you have so little? It's like, well, I've been to a few stakings before. It's all about where you stand. It's just like, after he insisted Harker be the one to stake him, it's like, yeah, that's why he knew what was going to happen. He just dickbagged Harker into being the one coated in blood.
Right.
It's like, she's just 8. She's a little full. It's like, God. I mean, it's a hilarious side gag, but then the play up when it's like, you realize, no, none of that was coincidence. Helsing played Harker like a
pretty much
carnival barker from the get-go.
And then Harvey Korman as Dr. Seward is there like, what the hell?
Yeah. Use the Seward's entrance, would you?
Yeah.
Just the final FU to Harker for that whole scenario. You can wash up in the house, but use the servant's entrance. It's like,
and Harker's just like, fuck you, you artistic bastard.
Yeah. He is so done by that point. It's just like, whatever. Yeah. Check, please.
But sadly, this would be the last of the trifecta for Mel, because Mel decided, I'm getting a little too old for this. The last movie he wrote and produced was the remake of The Producers, and that's the one with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane.
Yep.
And Uma Thurman as the femme fatale. That was a hell of a pick.
Oh, yeah. But But
which
he started doing a lot of VA work. He was in Robots with Robin Williams, and was it Tobey Maguire in that one?
Yeah. He also he was also what's another one?
He was in
Mr.
Hotel
Peabody.
Transylvania 2 and 3 as
Yeah.
Grandpa.
He was also in the Mr. Peabody and Sherman movie as Einstein.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
I didn't get to either. Leap, where he did the voice of he did an English dub of a French animated film, and in the Guardian Brothers, he did a dub voice there.
Yeah.
Back as Vlad or Grandpa.
Yeah, as I said, 2 and 3.
Toy Story 4, he was Melvin Brooks. That's a pun.
That's a meta joke. But
he also did Zeus and the Olympians in his latest role at 95. Is going to be Blazing Samurai, which is based on Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who just STX and Open Road Films. So
yeah, not bad. It's probably one of those catch when it goes streaming.
Yeah.
But
which I mean, not a bad cast. Michael Cera, Samuel L. Jackson, Ricky Gervais, Jimon Honsu, Michelle Yeoh, and George Takei.
Oh yeah.
Also have Fluffy.
Yeah. Had a wonderful role in the late 90s in Mad About You. 4 episodes. He was Uncle Phil.
Oh yeah.
Who he was only in 4 episodes, but he launched a season-long story arc when it was visiting Uncle Phil in the hospital.
Yeah.
Paul gets the idea to make the documentary about his family as Phil's showing him the photo album and talking about like, oh yeah, when we came to this country, what it was like, legalizing as an immigrant as a child. And he's just like, dude, my family is like the history of America. I have a living relative who remembers immigrating to this country. And that was like a season-long story arc. Also,
he did Broadway, including the last Broadway performance he did, Mel Brooks on Broadway at the Fontaine off of West 46th. What else is there? He's done various songs. He is the executive producer for Blazing Samurai.
Yeah.
What's another? He's got various TV acting roles. Oh, and you know what we should end this phone call on? Did you know that Spaceballs had a sequel, kinda?
The animated series, I saw the first couple episodes. I saw the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went ahead and voiced Screw Band Yogurt, who he had played in the live action movie.
Everyone,
as I said, I watched the first 2 and kind of pulled back because it was in 2008 and time. They had spent too long to go back to that well, especially as an animated series. It didn't work for me.
And the series itself ended because not because they canceled it. It wasn't that. It wasn't because they canceled it, and there wasn't any disagreements about it. It was the main attraction of the whole entire thing, the main gag. Unfortunately, died in the 2nd season, and that would be Tom DeLuise.
Yeah.
And everyone else didn't want to carry on without him in that. They did start it. The premiere was delayed a little bit, but you get the idea.
Yeah, that was a thing. But as I said, it's just, to me, it wasn't quite as good as what he did. But no, here's our sign off note. It was a running gag throughout this. The official count, his most frequent collaborators as far as actors, is Rudy DeLuca with 7 films.
Yeah.
Dom DeLuise with 6.
Yep.
And then Madeline Kahn, Harvey Korman, Charlie Callis, Carol Arthur, and Robert Ridgely with 4 films each.
Oh, yeah.
So Rudy DeLuca is the definitive Mel Brooks actor, with Dom DeLuise in second place.
Yeah. I do think that, honestly, people should go on a little bit of a Mel Brooks spree.
Oh yeah, I've got
Yep,
I own Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein,
Oh yeah.
History of the World, and Spaceballs. I've seen Robin Hood, Dracula Dead and Loving It multiple times each. Seen Life Stinks. Seen Silent Movie, but it's been a while.
Oh yeah. Do need to see High Tension. I do need to
High Anxiety.
Or High Anxiety.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm getting it all confused.
But yeah, I've got a I've got a decent collection of it, but yeah, Mel's one of those guys that say he did a lot of TV, film cameos, especially as a voice, and it was one of those things of once you see a couple of his movies, you're happy anytime he showed up in a guest spot. You're just like, oh, it's Mel. It's like, I'm so happy he's still doing things.
Well, yeah. You think Mel will eventually write Spaceballs, The Search for More Money, before he turns 100?
Probably not. Nah. I think the animated series was his cop out to that.
It was. It's not that he didn't have the heart to do it. It's just
it was a throwaway joke, poking fun that Star Wars very quickly became a trilogy, and then a hexology, and then a 9. Oh God, yeah. Let's not get too deep into that, but no, it was a throwaway joke about sequeling stuff and everything.
Sequels upon sequels upon sequels.
Yeah. No, I think, as I said, he's got the Blazing Samurai, but I really think if he continues to work, God hoping his health stays with him, that he'll probably keep more to just voice acting, because there's only so much you can do as your body continues to age. You cannot beat Father Time, no matter what your diet is, no matter what kind of workout routine you have. You will feel your age.
Oh yeah.
So
hell, I feel it every day in the gym.
And there's your closing note, because as I said, ultimately, that's why, with everything going on with us and with the world, we're only going to be doing this once at a time, or once a month at a time, so we don't push ourselves too hard and short something out.
As we are prone to.
As any human is when they put too much burden on their brain. So
we'll eventually get new stuff set up, all that. But until
as the audience grows, we shall grow with.
But my dude, I'm gonna get off here. One of these days, the biscuit will reopen. We're just not sure when.
Yep.
So 2 post show notes, and I'm going to give people is 1, we lost another person that we met at conventions. That would be the woman known to the government as Shannon Spurrill, also known as Daphne. Horse.
Indeed.
That's one issue that it's a big issue to take your own life. Because
I'm not gonna pretend that I was following her journey closely.
Yeah.
Through social media. It did kind of come out of left field for me, but
yeah, definitely.
Just at the end of the day, all I can say is it's the cliche, but it's the best thing anybody can say. Even if they are not a close personal friend, there are resources. There are people who will talk you through things. If you are at the precipice, there are people there are people that will answer the phone and talk to you.
This is the National Suicide Prevention Line. Not saying this to preach or anything, but if you do, Dave and I will admit we have attempted it. Not together, apparently, but
Yeah, on separate occasions in our separate lives, when we were, when we had our own things we were working through.
But give a call to 800-273-8255. Or, and want something easier, 800-273-TALK. If you are a veteran of the armed forces, you do have option 1. You're not alone.
That's true. For the veterans, do have resources that.
Or if you need to go through paid stuff, they don't sponsor us, but BetterHelp.com for a nominal fee. Just talk to someone.
Yep, because at the end of the day, that's no matter what resource you go to. Try to talk to somebody before you make that decision.
As this is a permanent fucking solution to a temporary problem.
Yep. And
the other thing that we'll talk about too is that we're joking, but we're really not sure when the biscuit will open back up, because right now there's so many variants of this disorder, of this pandemic or endemic, whatever you want to call it.
The plague.
Yeah. We're not sure when it's going to end. We're not sure why it got started. We're at the point, though, that we should just stop arguing about it. Try to do what you can to keep yourself and your family safe. I mean, if they tell you wear a mask, we're not exactly cucking out, telling people you have to wear the mask. It's like, just do it out of common courtesy. If someone's like, hey, could you please wear one? If they're nice about it. If they're being a jerk, do whatever. But, But it's one of those. We're at a point that,
At the end of the day, it's just like, look, everybody's just going to have to give a little. It's like, it is just the nature of medical things and contagious stuff is just, acknowledge the real risk, no matter what theories you subscribe to about the cause of it, or just accept the fact people suffer when they get infected with this. And focus on that.
Definitely.
Nothing else. Is if you catch it, your things are gonna suck for you.
And as I said, my dad's going through the Delta variant at the moment. So he's good now. He's pissed off that he's in bed for a week and a half more, but
unfortunately, not everybody is like me and has enough media that they are happy to reread, rewatch ad nauseum for the rest of their life.
Or hell, I've got Stadia gaming as well.
Oh
until
yeah,
Google
no,
pulls the
that's
plug.
what I'm saying. God knows, I've got I've, I'm still a
Yeah.
dozen or more games deep, but
Oh, and
some of us are made for hermitude, some are not.
yeah. Oh, and you also did tell me that I probably should mention the various charities as well, like the one in Tennessee and the one for the Northeast. Best way we can tell you is
Oh,
in your
we have the
area
hurricane stuff.
and the flood relief for Tennessee, especially my hometown.
Yeah.
United, not United Way. American Red Cross .org. I think it's .org, isn't it? I'm gonna look that.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah, it is .org.
All right, yeah, you beat me to that one, but
Yeah,
redcross.org.
Redcross.org. Go ahead and donate. Donate a little bit of a gift for those that affected by Hurricane Ida and those affected in Tennessee as well. Nashville Predators are also doing a foundation. Just Catholic charities, just various. If you've got a little bit of scratch and you want to donate, help people get back on their feet. In Tennessee, it's going to take months because the entire section of, I sent you the pictures when I visited.
Yeah.
Downtown Waverly, Tennessee is pretty much anything that was a structure along that creek is pretty much condemned. That's as simple as you can put it, isn't it?
Yep. It's no use to anybody.
A lot of people are probably going to have to be uprooted. A lot of houses will probably have to be destroyed and rebuilt. And emergency management can only do so much. They've got a finite amount given to them by the government. As much as people say, hey, government has a lot of money, it's like, yeah, but there's a finite amount. And nobody expected this.
No, and that crept out of nowhere.
And then 2 weeks later comes this hurricane, and the entire eastern seaboard is pretty much made into an Etch-a-Sketch. I hate to make a joke like that, but that's how much of a joke it isn't. Hurricane Ida basically made everything her Etch-a-Sketch. So donate what you can, folks.
Yeah, I am. Even though we got lucky with a strong portion of the Gulf Stream, I am happy I do not live on the east coast of Georgia anymore.
Yeah.
Happy to be more inland because every decent sized hurricane, the jet stream would push them past, so it never made land there. But the edges of those things was still enough to cause problems. So and freak people out. So we had a few close call ones during my decade or so living on the coast. So
yeah, that's more than we want.
Yeah. So, but just be good to each other. Keep an eye on us. We got a few different shows. We're gonna hopefully, by and large, give you stuff that will remind you there is silver linings in life. So,
and what did we decide for?
Feel like there's nothing good left and nothing to keep going for another day. So,
and what did we decide for October?
I was gonna. God, it was.
Was Halloween related?
You had the show episode notes. It was. We were gonna do the Halloween related stuff. Oh, we're breaking down Resident Evil.
Yeah, that we are. Resident Evil.
Because you are more experienced with the franchise than me, but I'm the guy that overanalyzes the video games. So we're gonna tag team the many games of Resident Evil.
The games and the remakes. So October. It's Halloween theme. It's Resident Evil. It's survival horror.
And we'll cop to the movie. The hey, my really hot romantic partner needs some starring role.
The last good movie she was in was with Bruce Willis and Chris Tucker. That'll be another topic down the road, but another one down the road. So, good night, man.
That's it for the collab, but just keep an eye on what drops in between, and hit me up on Twitter if you want to make show suggestions for any of that.
Yeah.
Any of the stuff we do.
David Horidan on Twitter. Yeah. We'll get a mailbox set up and Dave will shill it.
Shill.
All right. Good night. Thanks for none of the fish.